Welcome to the American Business Podcast. I'm Kevin Deveji, your host. I'm welcoming you episode 118. 118th episode in the American Business Podcast. The American Business Podcast is the voice of American business. Today's sponsor is Reddit for Business. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for small businesses in the US? That is visibility. That is why we partnered with Reddit for Business. Please scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit for Business and Reddit for Business advertising. When you scan the QR code, it'll take you to their sign up page. You're going to have two options. You can sign up right there and you can get the subscription started for Reddit Business advertising. As an alternative, you can schedule a call with a Reddit representative. You can have a meeting, you can get more information, you can ask your questions, and you can get your Reddit business subscription started with Reddit advertising. And they have a promotion going on. When you sign up and spend $500 on Reddit business and Reddit advertising, you'll get $500 back in Reddit credit. So we are happy that we partner with Reddit and Reddit business. I'm a Reddit user myself, and I hope you scan the QR code and sign up for Reddit business today. Great. Well, let's continue the American Business Podcast and our flow. Today's number is 408. That's the size of US business networking event industry. And it's approximately $408 billion in 2025. And as you know, we have a great partnership with missionstatements.com, and we have a code of the day. Thanks to our partnership with missionstatements.com, our friends there. We need to redefine problems into opportunities. Every problem is an opportunity in disguise to create value and to differentiate yourself from others. All right, great. Well, today we have a special guest. I'm going to invite our guest to our virtual stage, and let's get the conversation started in the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. All right, looking great. Hello, Adam. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Kevin. You're looking good too, man.
Thank you very much. Well, it's a pleasure to have you. How about you? How was your weekend?
The weekend was busy. It's been a constant grind. For those of you that are watching, we're at the end of December 2025, a few days away from the holidays and New Year. So I can only imagine what your grind and hustle has been like. And between me, my harmony is the kids, new business, and having a life during the holidays. So you asked me how my weekend was.
Yes.
Filled with business and family, and it was nonstop and ongoing.
Yeah, this is great. Well, actually, I've been really excited about this conversation. If that's okay, we can get started. As a start for our audience and for our viewers, would you please introduce yourself and your organization to our viewers and listeners?
Sure. So my name is Adam Holzer. I live on Long Island, New York, in Suffolk County. I'm married for going on 9 years with my wife Lara, and I have 3 children, all under the age of 8 years old. I live about 2/3 of a mile from the house I grew up in, and I am a big advocate on community. I not just as an entrepreneur, but being local in the community I grew up in. I'm on the board of my library. I'm on the board of something called COMAC Day, which is an active organization within my community that gives back to the community. And between all that, I'm also a business owner.
Yes, absolutely. Well, how your career journey started? How your career has unfolded over the years?
Sure. So I graduated from high school in 2005. So for those of you doing the math, I'm about to turn 39. So I'm 38. My birthday is the end of the year, so it gets mixed in with all the Christmas and holiday, New Year, Hanukkah stuff. So December 28th is my birthday, and I got started. My background, actually, I went to school to become a health and physical education teacher with a passion in business as well. And I went to Suffolk Community College for 2 years, got my associates, got my bachelor's from Adelphi University, got my master's from Queens College, and really got started as an entrepreneur because I met, my whole life I've been around business owners. My father's a business owner, a lot of his friends are business owners. So I just always enjoyed the conversations and learning about business. And when I graduated college, it was during the 2008 2009 crash. So I started my journey as a master's student. And then when I got out of finishing my master's, well, no one was really hiring for health and phys ed, and I didn't want to wait online for a job, so I jumped into the entrepreneur journey. Thankfully, due to a venture capital firm that scooped me up and took me under their wing to learn how to become an entrepreneur.
Um, how is your day-to-day work? What are the exciting and challenging parts of your work on daily basis?
So it's funny in life and business. I say that there's no such thing as a balance of life and business. It's more of a harmony. Some days your harmony might be very family focused. Other days might be very business focused. So my day to day is a harmony, literally a harmony. So mornings for the most part are with the family as the kids are getting ready for school. It depends on the day of the week, obviously. I have a lot of business meetings that do take place in the morning, some at 6 a.m., some at 8 a.m., and every day is a little different. I do block my calendar out about a month in advance, so I can always fill things in, but my non-negotiables are the family stuff that is in there, where it's a school play or going to something after school or Cub Scouts or taking my daughter to dance. So my day to day is very different, but the two consistencies I have every day is I'm usually meeting with my business friends and my clients, kind of the bulk business friends and clients. And then my other part of the day to day is working on the business, which is the behind the scenes. So that's working with my operations director, my event planning team, working together with my facilitators and mentors, and just a lot of day to day is day to day, and it's exhausting.
Well, I know how busy you are and how active you are in business community. And speaking of business community and communities, how would you define networking groups versus business community in general?
So I think networking has unfortunately transitioned into a very transactional word where people feel a sense of instant uncomfortableness and kind of like the mad chills they get on the back of their neck when they hear the word networking. I've always been very passionate about building relationships with people that build them back with you. Like just like you, Kevin. Like I genuinely like to get to know somebody for who they are, not just what they do. One of my least favorite questions in networking is when someone says, "What do you do?" And that's usually the first question someone will ask you before they even ask you what your name is. So for me, I've always looked at, networking is more so transactional. It's more so a pitch. It's handing out a business card. It's trying to tell or sell someone. Where I look at the word community as building relationships, getting to know people for who they are, understanding their hobbies, their interests, their passions. I want to get to know someone not just for what they do, because what they do makes them who they are too. But I want to get to know somebody for who they are. I want to learn, like you, for example. You have such a passion for so many different things, and getting to know you for who you are, that allows me to kind of take the horse blinders off and be able to get to know you outside of just what we do as professionals and business owners. So if your question is networking versus business community, I think networking is a little bit more short term. It's more like feeding someone for the day. That saying, teach a man to fish. I think networking is more so fishing, not teaching someone to fish. It's more so just eating the fish every day, where building a business community is getting to know people, understanding what drives them, their motivation, building a relationship with them, and then building them back with you. Not just making it about business and networking, but learning together, growing together. That's how I develop the word community versus just networking.
Well, let's talk about AI a little bit. How do you see the impact of AI on business nowadays?
It's a double-edged sword. It's something that can provide tremendous value and really help people with scaling their business, whether it's through writing content or building a website or creating automations and processes that you might not think of in your brain. AI, if you learn how to use it to your advantage, then you'll be able to probably save time and have a little bit more quality behind the work that you do. But the double-edged sword side of it is you don't know what you don't know. So I think there's a lot of people right now in business that are trying to figure out how to use AI. Some people are hesitant. Uh, I don't know if it's a reactive thing or a proactive thing, but it's here, it's staying. Certain things can't be replaced in AI, but other things can be replaced. So I think you really just have to have your awareness, there so you can focus on how it can complement your business versus maybe complicate your business. It's a approach that my dad has, which is things either complement or complicate. So hopefully people are finding out ways to use it to complement their business and their time, which is their most valuable currency.
Um, well, you talk about AI and AI being here to stay. Uh, what is one job AI can't replace in the future, you think?
One job that I don't believe AI can replace in the future, it's a scary question. Because whether it's cooking, driving, doing work for you, it's kind of steering the ship. Um, AI could probably steer a ship too. I, I think that a lot of work that I do is very human connection based. It's very relationship driven. I think that there's definitely things that AI can do to replace what I do and how I can do it. Making connections off of common interests, or common businesses, or common struggles. But I don't think that AI can really take that human approach of understanding the emotions of what someone's maybe going through and how to act and trigger on those emotions. I think AI can do it if somebody implements it or inputs it, but I don't think that AI has the knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong, but
General, that's a question that everyone is trying to find the answer of. Well, Adam, you are a business professional, a business leader, and a business owner. So, from your point of view, and based on your experience, what are the best marketing practices for the highest ROI?
I truly believe in understanding who your demographic is and who your audience is and what problem are you trying to solve. A lot of people try to solve problems that maybe don't even exist. They're kind of creating a problem. And if you can look at data or research, like when I was building my brand, I held these focus groups that were think tanks. And I genuinely wanted to understand by surveying people in conversation, not just through sending out a survey, but I wanted to understand what people were going through in their business. Not just from a networking standpoint, but from developing the business. So there's the term business development, which is a very general phrase. But if you can understand, the good, the bad, the ugly, the magnificent, what people are going through, what people are trying to gain out of their marketing, I think that is really the biggest image. So many people are just trying to do things to do them. Is it better to do stuff to do it, or is it better to do stuff with intention? And I think the more awareness you have for what your clientele needs, what the problems are that you're solving, then you can curate a marketing plan and strategy with the right marketing people in place. And you know that better than anybody. If you don't have the right strategy, the right mediums, the right messaging and content, if you're not targeting the right audience and demographic, then it can be a waste of time, money, energy, and very emotional.
From your point of view, how do you define leadership, and what are the great leadership qualities a good leader must have?
So, fun question to answer. So, I'll first share this with you, Kevin. And I don't know if you know this about me. People are going to learn about me now, obviously. So, I'm a leader. I'm definitely a leader. I'm not only a thought leader, but I lead people. I take the charge. And I don't do it from an ego perspective. I do it because I genuinely enjoy getting the herd going in the direction, whatever that looks like. But what people don't know about me is I actually love being followed. I love to follow good leaders. And throughout my whole career, I might be turning 39, but I've really only been in this professional space for, let's say, 14 years. And I've had the pleasure of meeting phenomenal leaders, and I've adapted and modified things about their leadership that I've kind of modified into my own. I found ways to follow someone that's doing a great job as a leader because they genuinely care about others. One of the people that, I'm sure you're going to ask me about mentors or people that have been influential in my life. There's a gentleman by the name of Bob Doyle. Bob's in his mid-60s, very successful entrepreneur, worked a corporate career for his whole life. He did over 250 mergers and acquisitions. He was the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company that he was part of when they were only a $500 million company or a $50 million company. And one of the things I love about Bob is because he did 250 mergers and acquisitions in his company, you can think about the employee morale and how hard that was for employees to know, hey, we're acquiring this company. Am I still going to have my job? Is my role going to change? And one of the things that Bob focused on as a leader was the people. And that's like my superpower. I love people. So I think that when you're able to genuinely care about those around you and not just listen and understand it, but find out from them like what they want, what they need. Go back to those focus groups and those think tanks. I wanted to be a leader, but before I started leading people blindly, I wanted to lead people in a direction I knew they wanted to go in. So that would be my answer to that question. Is I think a leader for me is someone that genuinely cares. You need to care about different verticals, but for me, I've always cared strongly about the people.
If there is one key career lesson that you learned the hard way, what would it be that you can share with us?
So there's no shortcut in time, and there's no shortcut in relationships. And the career lesson I would share with you here is do things with intention, do things with purpose, and find other people that are doing things with a similar intention and purpose. So many people, there's a term called abundance mindset or scarcity mindset, where scarcity is more so fear driven, whereas abundance is more so open to opportunity. And the career advice I would give is really be open to what that opportunity looks like. One of the terms I have in my community is collaboration over competition. And in our vetting process, we try to understand what people are looking for in being part of this business community. And going back to the question you asked prior about networking versus business community, traditionally networking people are very scarcity mindset. They don't want to meet another person that does marketing. They don't want to meet another person in the financial space. And if you flip the mindset to abundance, someone in marketing wants to meet other people in marketing so they can talk about strategy, they can talk about software platforms, they can talk about what's working or not working, they can talk about pricing, they can bounce things off of each other. Whereas in networking, someone doesn't want to walk into a room with another marketer because they look at it as competition, whereas that person's going to take away from my clientele potentially, versus you can collaborate together and get to know each other. Hope that answered your question.
Yes, you really did. Appreciate it. Well, Adam, why don't we take a quick break and let's continue our conversation if that's okay?
Sounds good, Kevin.
All right. We'll be right back in the American Business Podcast. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Reddit. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for American small businesses? That is visibility. That's why we partner with Reddit for Business. Reddit has more than 400 million weekly visitors. Furthermore, Reddit is reliable. Reddit is the number one source for real reviews on products, services, and brands. There is a promotion going on. When you spend $500, you'll get $500 in ad credit from Reddit. True story. I am a Reddit user. Anytime I need feedback or review for a product or service, I go to Reddit. I get the real answers, real feedback from real people, from Reddit communities. Scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit advertising for your business. Get the visibility for your company, your products, and services. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Office Virtual Offices. Office is offering you more than 600 different locations in the US. It is $99 a month. This includes prestigious business address, professional live call answering, personalized call transferring, business phone number, local phone number, professional mail services, voicemail converted to email. I have the QR code on the screen. You can sign up for Apples today. Apples is offering you hundreds of locations in the US that you can pick, any of them that you like. And you can start having your virtual office today. Please scan the QR code and start using Apple's virtual offices today. Thank you for your support. Support for the show comes from Yelp. You know, I've been talking to more than 100 business owners in the American Business Podcast. Do you know the biggest problem for small businesses nowadays? It is visibility. That is why you should sign up and list your business on Yelp for Business. I have the QR code on the screen, and when you scan the QR code, the form will show up on your screen and you can sign up on the registration form. It comes with free trial with no obligation. Make it easy for your customers to find you. Do you know there are more than 70 million customers visiting Yelp website looking for services from businesses just like yours? Restaurants, home services, professional services, and many other businesses are being searched on Yelp on daily basis. That's a great opportunity. If you list your business on Yelp, you'll be findable, searchable, and you'll be visible. When you are visible, when your customers are able to find you, you're in business. You can get opportunities, you can get leads, you can build a healthy and profitable pipeline. Consider Yelp for Business. Scan the QR code, sign up, and start your free trial. It comes with free trial. Very comfortable, no obligation. List your business and start getting the results and enjoy the benefits of Yelp Business. Thank you for your support. We are back in the American Business Podcast. Adam, let's continue our conversation if that's okay. Well, sometimes in business, things are not going in our way. There are challenges and there are sometimes obstacles that we need to address and fight against. How to stay motivated and inspired in business in times of challenges?
All right. So I'm going to give away some of my trade secrets here.
All right.
So staying motivated is challenging. You know, it's not just challenging from a mindset perspective. It's we all have so many things going on in our lives. You know, I have friends right now that have parents who are aging and they're going through sickness and illness, and they still have to maintain and do their business and support their families. I have friends that have lost a relative or a loved one that was a very active person in their life, and stay motivated. And at the end of the day, we do this to support our families, to go on vacations, to retire, to be able to live a comfortable life. But it's not always easy. And if anything, it's probably easy to just give up, or it's easy to throw the towel, and easy to hit the snooze button and to not get up. And for me, there's been really two motivating factors for staying encouraged and motivated. I don't know if this is for everyone, this is just for me, but the first one is having a mission and purpose in what you're doing. One of the things I love about cultures is that different cultures have different ways of looking at life and happiness. For example, there's a Japanese term called ikigai, which defines as the reason for being, the purpose. And the core of it, the center of it is your why. And the world needs it. You get paid for it. You enjoy doing it, and you have the skills to do it. That's the Japanese philosophy and culture. Whereas, you look at in Denmark, a lot of Scandinavian countries, they're voted the happiest places in the world to live, but it rains more than half the year. They have the highest taxes. They're not famous or known for anything, and they're the happiest places in the world. For me, my trick for how did you phrase the question?
Yes. So, yeah, absolutely. So, how to stay motivated and inspired? So, absolutely.
So my two answers would be one, having a purpose and a mission for what you're doing. For
Yes.
me, I say inspired because I know that what I do helps a lot of people around me who I genuinely care about. And by me doing what I do, not only does it allow me to afford the lifestyle I have with my family, but it also allows me to make an impact on the people I care about. And kind of like a rising tide lifts all boats. If I rise, the boats around me rise, and that to me is a lot of. That's why I'm so intentional in what I do. That's my first thing is having purpose and intention or compassion for it. The second trick I have is surrounding yourself with people that are motivating factors. Going back to that quote I used earlier, where my dad says, which is, in life or business, people will either compliment or complicate you. I surround myself with only people that really compliment me, people that understand not just what I do and who I am, but people understand my motivation, my factors, who I am. And I think when you are doing something with purpose and intention, as well as you surround yourself with people that understand that purpose and intention, that's something that keeps me really motivated. Like I don't mind having hard conversations, especially hard conversations that I'm feeling internally. For example, if I was having a bad day and someone says, "How are you? How are you?" I might say like, "You know what? I'm actually having a really rough day. I have a lot on my mind. Feeling a little bit of anxiety. I'm feeling stress. I'm feeling pressure." And I would disclose that to them, not just because I want to share that with them, but I want to give them that vulnerability to see what they can do with it. Maybe it's a hug. Sometimes people think they want a lecture, but they really need a hug. Other times people think they want a hug, but they really need a lecture. For me, it's more so being that vulnerable with people and sharing it and saying like, you know what, I'm going through this right now. Maybe they've been through it themselves. Maybe they've never been through it, and you can help teach them something that one day they might go through. And then when they go through that one day, it'll trigger and say, you know what, I remember the day Adam mentioned that to me, and Adam's been through this. Let me reach out to him and see, what he might say or how he might guide me.
Is there a book, a show, a movie that helped you shape your career perspective over the years?
The first show that really motivated me was Entourage. This goes back probably 10, 12, 15 years ago when Entourage first came out. Maybe that was just a cool show. I mean, you're hanging out with your friends, you're doing stuff you love to do, you're living a cool life. I never lived the Entourage life, but I've always felt like I had an entourage around me. Favorite book has been probably two different books. I love The Giving Tree. A simple children's book, The Giving Tree. I can very much relate to that book. Giving to a point where you have nothing left to give, type of thing, but being aware of that so you don't get to that position where you're literally just a stump, and the old man at the end of the book just needs a stump to sit on. The other book that I love is The Go-Giver. That is a book that I've had at least a dozen people give to me as a gift. And anytime somebody gives me any type of a book, I always ask them to write a note for me at the beginning of the book. I actually have a book right in front of me, and
Look at that, yes.
I told the author that wrote me that book, I said, the actual author of that book gave me the book.
That's amazing.
And I said to him, I cannot accept this until you write a message for why you're giving me this book. And so, the book's been The Go-Giver. And then the show, I said the Entourage before, I'll say one more show. I watched this later in life. I watched this during COVID. I started watching it 5 years ago, Seinfeld. I even did a LinkedIn post on this recently. So much about life and business is relatable in Seinfeld, where if you watch Seinfeld, if you can see how to avoid uncomfortable, awkward situations, where you can be proactively maybe 2 steps ahead so you don't put yourself into a George Costanza situation, I would say.
Yes. Well, what is the best career advice that you ever received, and what is the worst career advice that you ever received?
So the best career advice came from a gentleman named Gary Anzalone. Do you know Gary?
I guess not.
All right, Gary's someone that you probably very much enjoy meeting. So Gary gave me great advice. He said, your success will come from the clients that you choose. And that was good because, you always hear the 80-20 policy where 80% of your clients are a headache and 20% are the ones you wish you always had. I can say very honestly to you that the majority of my clients are, it's probably a 95-5 rule I have. So 95% of them are people that I genuinely want around me that are the right clientele. And the other 5% are still on the fence. They're either going to become the 95% or they're going to become, they're going to get out there. But that was probably the best advice. Your success will come from picking or choosing the right clients. And then the worst advice I got, I've gotten some pretty bad advice. Uh, I'll say this: the worst advice I've gotten has probably come from people that don't genuinely know who I am and what I'm about, and they've just kind of blindly given me advice to give me advice. Whereas if they knew me and it was curious for me, then they probably would have given me different advice. So I don't really have. I'm sorry, I don't really have like bad advice that someone gives me. Well, let me think about this for 1 second. Bad advice. Um,
Well, we can get back to that. Don't worry about it.
oh no, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries.
Next time we come
Yeah,
back.
we'll revisit. Yes, yes. Well, in the American Business Podcast, in this episode 118th episode today, is there any question that you expected me to ask you, but I didn't ask you?
I go back to the question. I love hobbies and interests. I love when people can like. I'll ask you that same question. Like, Kevin, what are some of your hobbies and your interests?
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you for asking. Well, the what I do is in my free time is mostly either reading or searching about different subjects. So that's really helpful. In addition, I exercise. Of course, the sport is an important part of my life as much as I can in my schedule. So that's another one. And I meet with my friends as much as I can. So these three I will say to have a healthy lifestyle in tandem with business. That's what I'm trying to do to get it going.
When you hang out with your friends, what are some things that you and your friends like to do?
We typically have a conversation, like we share, like how things are going in general, just um, where we are, anything that we need to discuss, or sometimes we have exercise meetings, right? So sometimes we get together, we exercise. That also helps too. So you still have the conversation, but at the same time you have physical activity that helps you stay in shape mentally and physically. That's another one that I love doing. Well, so in the American Business Podcast, we have a new tradition that we started last week, actually. So we have a question coming from our previous guest, and I'll ask you to leave a question for me to ask to our coming guest in the next episode, which will be the 119th episode coming up. So the question that I got from our previous guest is, are you happy in your job, in your career?
I'm very happy, but sometimes it makes you think, was I meant to do this? You think about being in high school and having a guidance counselor, or taking a test that tells you maybe what you should do. Maybe that's something that AI can help with. But no one told me that this is what I should do. People ask me all the time, they're like, what would you do if you run a business? Like, what would you love to do? And my honest answer is, I'd love to be a barista. I know that sounds like really silly, but like, even right now I'm taking this call from a coffee house. I love coffee houses. I got my mug right here, and I'm not even a coffee enthusiast. Like I like coffee. I'll have maybe a cup a day, even that. But the reason I like to be a barista is I like processes. And if you think about making a cappuccino, you're weighing out the beans, grinding the beans. So before you even weigh the beans, you got to select the beans. Why are you selecting these beans? If you take passion in what you do, you're probably selecting them because of the quality and maybe they're cost efficient for you, or maybe you don't care about the cost, you care about the quality only. And going back to the cappuccino, it's like you got to grind the beans, you got to measure it, you got to put the spout on, you have to put the right amount of water in, you have to do all these processes, and then you get to hand it to somebody for money. And when you hand it to them, you're probably smiling. They're smiling because they get this cappuccino. So it's like one of my mentors, his name's Matt Rivera. Matt has a lot of businesses, but one of his businesses is it's called a Kona ice truck. They hand out ices, and literally he's handing out smiles all day. And I always wanted to just have a job or a business or whatever it is where I'm just handing out smiles. So when you ask if I'm happy doing what I'm doing, I'm very happy doing what I'm doing. I'm excited to see what this transitions me into doing in addition to what I'm doing because I know what I love and what I want. And sometimes you don't know what you want until you know what you don't want. So I hope that answers the previous guest. Well, who was the previous guest that asked that question? Do you know?
Yes, Real joined us, Real Quill, and he asked us the question. I can also make the introductions. He's a great guy. We had a great conversation. Um, well, how about your question for the next guest? What would you like? What question would you like to leave with me to ask?
It goes back to the question I even asked you. You asked me before, is there one question that you didn't ask me that I would have expected? And that would be my question for the next guest, which is, what are your hobbies and interests?
Okay.
I want that person to go into detail. Like, for example, you said that you like to gather with friends, and that I had to ask you a follow-up question saying, what do you do? Like, what do you talk about? And you
Hmm.
told me. I always like when you ask somebody a question, I like when they go into detail about it, because if you're taking the time to ask the question, you should take the time to listen to the answer. And it's like one of my biggest pet peeves is when someone says, "How's your day going?" And they say, "Good." It's like, no, like tell me, why is it going good? Well, it's going good because I closed a new client, or it's going good because, you know, um, I got to play with my kids this morning before I left the house. And like, I always want to understand like that second, third, fourth response of that answer is, why is it
Mm.
going good? Tell me more.
Yes, absolutely. Makes a lot of sense. Well, what is your career advice for the next generation business professionals?
Career advice is find happiness in what you do. Going back to that Japanese term I used earlier, the ikigai, once again, the world needs it. You can be paid for it. You're good at it, and you have the skill set to do it. If you can't get paid for it, you're going to enjoy what you're doing, but you're going to have no wealth. If the world doesn't need it, you can be doing it till you're blue in the face, but the world doesn't need it. I would go back to that advice being find what you're good at, find what the world needs, find what you can get paid for, and find what you enjoy doing. And that all that combined should be your ikigai. So take time to work jobs that you don't want to work. I love jobs. Like I used to work in Baskin Robbins scooping ice cream, and I used to work at a pizzeria. I learned that I love people. I love making people happy. I loved helping you find the right ice cream flavor that met your taste buds. I loved helping introduce you to a new slice of pizza that maybe you're tired of getting the same old same. And you're like, hey, what would you have, Adam? And I'd say, I'm going to make you what I would have. Any food allergies? But I think that'd be my advice: is you don't know what you want until you know what you don't want. Once you find out what you don't want, be aware of that, and then find things that complement your life. Because if it doesn't complement it, what does it do? It complicates it.
Complicated, yes, makes it more difficult. Absolutely. Well, so we are getting into the new year. We are almost there. New year 2026. What are your expectations and any predictions for the new year?
I'm just excited. I have a new gust of wind underneath my wings. For those of you watching this podcast that have never met me before, I have a new business that's launching in January 2026, which is a vetted, curated business community that helps to support business owners and professionals that are looking for that sense of community, that sense of mentorship and guidance. And for me, as we're approaching the new year, I've just been preparing for launch. I've been between the website, the marketing, the operations, the systems, the technology, the workflows, the automations, the event planning, the logistics of this, and that. I'm excited just for everything to start, all the planning I've been doing, because it takes a lot of planning and strategy. I'm just excited for the planning and strategy to meet the day of.
For those who like to continue this conversation with you, what is the best way to be in touch with you and learn about nooks and socials?
So I love being on LinkedIn. You're active on LinkedIn as well. You can just search my name, Adam Holzer. If you wanted to reach out to me, my email is adam, ADAM, at nooksandsocials.com, NOOKSAND, socials, SOCIALS.com. If you feel like just texting me or calling me, you can text or call my business number. It's 631 606 6657. Just say, hey, Adam, this is Kevin, so I know who it is. But I'm pretty easily approachable. I love to connect with people, as you know, Kevin. So yeah, that's the best way to find my information. And if you're interested in checking out my website or looking into my business community, please just go to nooksandsocials.com. And if you have any questions or anything else, just reach out to me. I'm a very friendly person, as you know.
Yes, Adam, thank you so much for being with us in your busy schedule. Appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your professional insights and wisdom with us. I also like to thank you especially for helping business professionals, and I wish you luck at Nooks and Socials, which I'll be happy to part of while you are building this business community. And I'm sure it's going to be great 2026.
You'll be one of our founding members, Kevin.
Yes, it'll be my pleasure. Absolutely. Absolutely. In the American Business Podcast, we support American businesses. We promote and we uplift and we support American businesses. That includes our guests and their businesses as well. So I'll be happy to be part of it. And I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for being with us.
Right back at you, Kevin. You did a great job, man. Proud to be on your podcast.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you. And I wish you and your family a happy holiday season.
Right back at you, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. To our listeners and to our viewers, we'll be right back after a short break. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from iStack. iStack is offering you the latest visuals for your marketing projects, advertising projects, and other projects that need communicative latest visuals. Right now, iStack is offering you 20% discount if you start shopping today. I have the QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, you can start your shopping experience with iStack immediately. Whether you are looking for visuals designed by professionals or you are looking for visuals designed by AI, iStack is offering you all these options starting today. Please scan the QR code and start shopping visuals on iStack website. Remember, there is 20% discount when you start shopping today. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Norton, advanced tech for advanced threats. Sign up today. Norton offers you different packages to completely save and secure your data and your devices. Each Norton package comes with antivirus, malware, ransomware, and hacking protection capabilities. In addition, there is VPN, private internet connection, dark web monitoring, and parental control capabilities in each package. There is a promotion going on right now. I have the QR code on the screen. You can get up to 60% discount if you sign up right now for one of the packages. There are packages of Deluxe, Standard, Plus, and Select. Depends on the number of devices that you like to connect, as well as the features that you like to utilize when you are using Norton. I have the QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, you'll see the different packages and options available for you. Scan the QR code, go to the page that you like to sign up, pick the package that you like to use, and sign up today. True story. I am also using Norton on a daily basis, and I know all of my devices are secure every single day, thanks to Norton. Scan the QR code on the screen and start using Norton today and save your devices and your data in a safe and secure manner with the help of Norton. Thank you very much. I enjoyed the experience. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Wizen. At the American Business Podcast, we always talk about continuous improvement and professional development. That is why we partner with Wizen, trust the nation's largest network for tutoring. Wizen helps you find the tutor that you need in many different subjects: chemistry, computer, foreign languages, geometry, English, music, physics, reading, SAT, science, and many more. I have the QR code on the screen that you can sign up and start searching for tutors and enjoy the learning experience and continuous improvement as we always talk about in the American Business Podcast. Scan the QR code and sign up for Wizen today. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Invicta. Invicta is known for its stylish watches, both for men and women. Invicta is offering unisex watches as well. I have a confession. I am an Invicta fan and I've been using Invicta watches for many, many years. This one is 57mm Invicta watch, automatic. Because it's black color, it goes well with my business outfit. And because it's automatic, I don't need batteries for my watch. It gets the energy by me just moving the watch from my wrist. So it creates energy and it can go pretty much non-stop. I have the QR code on the screen, and when you scan the QR code, you'll be able to see the Invicta watch collection. And you can pick the one that you like based on the color, style, and technology. Please scan the QR code, start shopping today, and join me using Invicta. I'm sure you'll like it. Thank you very much for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Reddit. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for American small businesses? That is visibility. That's why we partner with Reddit, Reddit for Business. There are more than 440 million visitors weekly on Reddit. Furthermore, Reddit is reliable and millions of users are going to Reddit to get the real feedback from real people. It is the number one source for real reviews on products, services, and brands. There is a promotion going on that I'd like you to consider and take advantage of. When you spend $500 on Reddit for advertising, you'll get $500 in advertising credit. True story. I am a Reddit user, and anytime I like to have feedback or review for a product or service, I go to Reddit and I talk to Reddit communities. I get the real feedback and real review from real people and real communities. Scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit advertising. Get the visibility for your company, for your products and services on Reddit with Reddit advertising. Reach people ready to buy your products and services with Reddit advertising. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being with me in the American Business Podcast, episode 118. If you'd like to be a guest in the American Business Podcast, you can send us an email, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. We also welcome sponsors, advertisers, and if you'd like to promote your company, your products and services, you are more than welcome to get in touch with us. We love to have a discussion about partnering with you and promoting your products, services, and brands as well in the American Business Podcast. We also love to hear from you, how we are doing in 2025 in the American Business Podcast. Send us an email, let us know how we are doing, as well as your feedback. Also, if there is a particular subject that you like us to cover, a specific guest that you like us to have, we'll be happy to hear from you. We also welcome guest recommendations, suggestions as well in the American Business Podcast. All it takes is an email, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. I also like to invite you to our website, americanpodcast.tv, for the latest information about the American Business Podcast. Our coming episodes are listed on the website. Also, you can learn more about the American Business Podcast, our activities as well. And if you haven't done so, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. As you know, we have right now more than 130,000 YouTube subscribers. Thank you very much for your support. With your help and support, the American Business Podcast community is growing. And I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan this QR code. It'll take you to our YouTube page and you can subscribe. We'll be also happy to have your comments as well in the comment box on YouTube. We'll truly appreciate your support. I'd like to thank you for your time and for your interest. I'm looking forward to having you in the next The American Business Podcast episodes. Thank you very much and have a great day.